Hi everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. Thank you for coming and watching my videos. Everybody that's been here is new or is potentially watching this in the future. I want to welcome you, and I hope that you find something that might suit your fancy here. On Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, we have pattern tutorials and stitch tutorials, or weaving demonstrations, or dyeing demonstrations, dyeing of yarn or fiber to spin into yarn. It could be blending fiber, it could be spinning yarn, it could be anything. All kinds of different things can happen on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. With that being said, I think I'm adding a new sector into it. We'll see. Let's see. We have knitting, crocheting, Tunisian crocheting, weaving, spinning, dyeing yarn, spinning yarn, dyeing fiber. Let's see. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Crochet alongs, knit alongs, tat alongs, those type of things. We just finished up our crochet along, and I want to thank those of you that have been working hard at it and have it finished and submitted a couple of pictures. I will not have a slideshow at the end of this video. I will be adding the pictures that I received in the Facebook group on just the crochet along this week, and then next week we will resume back to our slideshows at the end of the week, so you have the ability to send pictures and stuff for an extra week. I will put a post in the Facebook group next Thursday for the slideshow, where you just add your pictures. Now, if you're not part of our Facebook group and you do have Facebook and you want to join, come on over, answer a few questions, and join in. Still pretty small little community, so it's nice, and everybody's really, really genuinely nice in the group. So that's really nice to have. There's very few groups like that. We do have a lot of fun, and everybody does share their work, so it's nice to see everybody else's work. I enjoy it. Let's see, Instagram, you can always tag me in Instagram. I am not on Instagram nearly as much as email and Facebook, but all of that is down in the description box. You're welcome to email me, message me on Instant Messenger, Facebook group, those type of things. So I think that's pretty much it. We're gonna do a little bit of a question. I know that we're used to Saturdays for the podcast. I have been considering switching it to Sunday just to give me one extra day to maybe tidy up and finish some projects that I might not have been able to finish, or work a little bit more on. So if moving it from Saturday to Sunday would be acceptable for you, for those of you that are used to seeing it Saturday morning, please let me know down in the comment section. Will this affect your ability to be able to watch the Saturday podcast? If so, let me know. I want your input. I would love to hear from you. I know that for almost 2 years now, I have been doing Saturday podcasts, and I know that it's something that everybody is pretty accustomed to, is that day and that time for what I've been up to this week. But I would like to move it to Sunday. Just throwing that out there. Would love your input on it, and know that I take your input into consideration. I got a couple of little other things that have come in. I got some emails that I need to respond to and some comments that I need to respond to. I've had a little bit going on this week. Just in general, a couple of losses in the family and some other things going on, losses, birthdays, all of that going on this week. So it's been a little bit hectic mentally. I will get to the comments and stuff this weekend. And all right, let's get into what I've been up to this week. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to send out a huge, huge thank you to the anonymous person that sent me such an amazing Happy Mail. I did not do a Happy Mail video on this because, again, this was an anonymous gift, and I was so blown away by it. I received it yesterday evening. It's Friday for me. I received it Thursday evening, and basically I went to work right away with it. I was so excited. I received a Addie King in the mail, and you know who you are. Thank you. Thank you very, very much for this. This was such a blessing to me. I decided that I want to use it for paying it forward mainly. Fellow YouTuber, fellow West Virginian, and friend, local to me, has a beautiful charity, and it's called Bumblebee Outreach. And every year in November, they do hats and scarves and things like that for the outreach. Now, her information will be linked down below. Her channel will be linked down below. And I would love for you to check her channel out if you haven't already, and get to know her a little bit. She is just an outstanding person, and it's KK Crochets. Her and her daughter are wonderful people, as well as the rest of her family. But I've really, really grown to them and consider them like an extension of my family. So I have in the past, and I want to again this year, donate hats to the outreach. So since last night, I started working on hats since the Addie came in, and I'm going to share with you guys the hats that I made on the Addie between last night and today. Now I have a stack of them. If you've never used an Addie or a Centro, they're awesome. I have had a Centro years ago, and I got it a long time ago when it was on eBay for 25 bucks. Yeah, I know, right? You see the prices of them things now? Ugh. But anyway, after, hundreds of hats, it really never worked right. It wasn't the greatest design. And this is nothing against the Centro nowadays. Mind you, I had it years ago. So it was still fairly new when I received it, and it was considered a child's toy. Yeah. But I worked it to death. I made a bunch of hats. I learned a lot. And I did plain tube double layered hats on the Addie. Now I will be doing more and different things on the Addie, and I will incorporate that into some tutorials as well. How to cast on, how to make a brim separate from making just a big long tube. I will start adding some of the Addie experiences, if you will, into the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday videos, if you don't mind. If that's going to be too much of a non-interest, please let me know. I do have a couple of people that would like a video, and I can just leave it unlisted and give them the link so they can watch it. But if there's enough interest in it, I would be happy to share my experiences with it and how I do certain things on the Addie. It's going to take me a little bit to get back into it. As I said, it's been a while since I've used one. But I'm going to go through the 10 hats that I've made, and I'm going to go through them pretty quickly. I'm using the leftover yarn that I have that's either discontinued or I don't have enough of it to do anything with really other than this. So most of these are reversible. So here's the first one. Again, this is a discontinued yarn from a long time ago, and I had just enough to complete one half of a double layered hat. So I picked up the black and finished it in black. Now you can completely reverse this so that way it's black and you have the green brim. Entirely up to the human that's wearing it, right? So that's one hat. This is a second hat that I did. Now I did this in 2 strands of DK, one of a sparkly white and one of a self-striping pinks, shades of pinks. Yeah, and those of you that know me, you know this was like really hard for me to say pink, right? So anyway, here is that hat. That is one side, and then we'll look at the other side. So again, completely reversible, and depending on which way you wear it, depends on what it looks like. Entirely up to the human that wears it. So there's that one. Then there's this one. This is more pink on the outside. It's completely peach on the inside. So again, you can just change it however you want. This one is, I only had just like this much. So I started with the yellow, changed to this, and then I finished with the yellow. So if it's turned inside out, it would be completely, I got some ends to tie in there. It would be completely yellow. So again, whatever, however you want to wear it. Another one that I did, I had some of this one and some of this one, but not enough to do a whole hat. And I just alternated the colors and striped it all the way down. And then I did a solid gray on the inside. So that way, that one can be worn however. This one, I used a tan color till I run out, and then I started with a darker brown, and that's what I ended up with. This one, another yarn that was discontinued, or I only had a little bit of it, and it's a vintage yarn that I have no idea about getting any more. So that is the one side, and then it's solid white on the inside. Then I have a couple with no brims. This one, I only had a little bit of burgundy, and then I finished it off with tan. This one does not have the big fold over cuff. This is another one that I did, and it's completely reversible as well. It is a little different, same yarn, just a little different on each side, depending on which way you want to wear it. And I have one more. This one is my favorite. I did all black on the outside, and then I had 2 different balls of the same colorway, but one had short color changes and one had long color changes. So if you wear it like this and roll your brim up, you have, get the brim up here, you have this hat. Now, if you turn it the other way and turn the cuff up or the brim up, you have this hat. 2 totally different looks. Love it. This is my favorite out of all of them. This one is my favorite. So I made those hats since yesterday evening to today. And I absolutely love them. I also did my live spin and chat, and I had prepared a huge tote of Rolags, my blending board, and you can see a short that I did of blending this particular colorway that I made. I worked on this during my spin and chat, and here is the bobbin of fiber. You can see the sparkle in it. Get the fuzz, the tail end out of the way here. There we go. So there's that. There's still like thicker spots in it at the end of this because I went ahead and took it off my spinning wheel so I could show you what it looked like spun. Now I do have some on the electric nano that I was spinning also this week, and it's the same exact thing. Kind of see the sparkles in it. So I worked on that as well. And I also this week have been working on a knitted pattern for a knit along. Now, during this process, I have, in a total of like 4 or 5 days, I knitted well over 4,000 stitches and frogged 4,000 stitches, easy. Possibly even closer to maybe 6,000 to 8,000 by the time it was all said and done. Different yarns, different colorways, different weights, just all kinds of different things. And getting the pattern exactly the way I wanted it was like crazy. But at any rate, I'll show you what I've got so far. That is the start of the new pattern that I will be doing for the knit along. I still got a lot of design left to it, but that's the start of it. You get sneak peek into what we will be working on in the knit along. Be thinking of a name. I'm thinking of a name, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure on the name yet. All right, one last thing that I did start this week, and I started it because I was on the phone quite a bit and I needed something to keep my hands occupied while I was on the phone, but yet it needed to be pretty mindless because the conversations were deep. So I picked up the ball of yarn that I had spun from learning to spin on my manual spinning wheel, and I started a granny rectangle. All of this is my hand spun yarn, but it's not something that I would sell or give away or anything like that because it is not consistent. It is very, very under and over spun. It's just not worthy. But it's too much to throw away. I have several cakes, big cakes of yarn like this, and I've been hanging on to it because I won't throw it away. It's my first spun yarn on my manual spinning wheel. So what I did was I decided, well, I'm just going to work it all up into this, and however big it gets, and maybe I'll add newer so you can see the progression, because the very center is actually my very first very first mess of spun yarn, seriously overspun, and then it gradually gets a little better. You can tell where I went from being overspun to loosening up, and in turn I ended up with this monstrosity. So one of the plies was almost not spun at all. But yeah, I figured I would just go ahead and work it up into that, and however big it gets is however big it gets. I'll use it for when I'm on a live or I'm chit-chatting on the phone. That's it for me for this week. And thank you again for those that worked the crochet along and sent in pictures. I will add them at the end with their information. Their information will also be linked down in the description box. I greatly appreciate you guys sharing your pictures and working that crochet along up. If you have yours in progress and you want to send your pictures in when you finish it, by all means, still please do. I will continue to share them as we go. So that's up to you. When you finish it, you finish it. There's no pressure here on the crochet alongs or any of those make alongs. It's up to you. You do it in your time. I just schedule my videos a certain way and then they're there. You can go back to them. I also want to once again thank the anonymous person for such a beautiful gift. And I'm happy that I'm able to locally pay it forward. And by making these hats, I'm just so excited that I can make these hats and pay it forward. And please, if you have any input on doing tutorials or anything on using the Addy or how to do certain things, please comment down below and let me know. And I will do my best to come up with something. Any other suggestions or something like that, you can email me, you can comment down below. By all means, please do, and we will work together. And those of you that have emailed and commented and I haven't got back to you this week, this weekend I will be responding to everybody, so I didn't ignore you, I promise. Had a little bit going on, but again, that's it for me today. Thank each and every one of you for coming and hanging out with me during my videos, and be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now, everyone.